get all you guys on the stage, hopefully, in an expedited manner.
Hey guys, Sid here.
Sid, what's good, man? What's going on? I was stressing. I was like, these dudes are not going to leave me hanging right now.
No. Let's try to add these other guys as speakers.
I sent them invites to speak, to co-host. I'm giving them all the links, all the things. Wait, Heisha's up here. Here we go. We're slow to start, but we're getting here. All right, Degen, another invite to speak. I thought it was pretty intuitive that it pretty much took up your entire phone and you had no option but to join me.
I don't know, that's weird. Yeah.
Oh, we got Rob. We're warming up here.
Yo. Hey, guys.
We're getting closer.
Yeah, I think the desktop version is a little weird. So I just switched to my phone.
Yeah, I joined from my phone. Yeah.
I was warned about the desktop. This is my first Spaces, and I was warned about the desktop. I went like a coward, and I went mobile. It's working out for me personally so far, which is optimal since I'm hosting, but not being able to get Degen on is suboptimal. Who else are we waiting for?
He should switch to mobile. If you can hear us, Nick, switch to mobile.
Please do.
Yeah, I'll try to hit him on Discord too. 1 second. Let me see.
Yeah, please troll him. Hard. I mean, I could do my rant, but I figured I might as well wait for all the troops are on board.
Okay, he's joining from mobile.
Okay, cool. Styling. All right, well, noted for the future. I will tell everyone to rock mobile. It seems to be the move.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to kick this off with first just saying thank you guys for, deciding to be the first listing on Felix. I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate that. And when I first got on board, I was saying that, I was adamant about, listen, who's ever the first token, it's got to be a phantom blue chip. We can't half-ass this. It's got to be.
Damn, it works.
There he is.
What's up, man? How are you, dude?
What's up, brother? I'm stressing.
So was I, man. Few technical difficulties here, but we'll muddle our way through it, dude. How you doing, my man?
Oh man, if I didn't hear your accent tonight, I wouldn't have been able to sleep. I'm so glad that you finally joined. So anyway, I'm mid-rant. Now you're finally here. I'm mid-rant.
Pray continue. I love me a rant.
It's one of my superpowers. So I was just saying how much that I love and appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for. Wow,
Nick, you're breathing straight into the mic, bud.
You guys don't like my breathing. I'll move the mic away. Here we go. Jesus.
You guys are I can see how this is going. I can see how this hour's going already. So my rant was a thank you so much for agreeing to be, the first listed project on Felix. I went on another rant, a separate rant, when someone wasn't breathing heavily into the microphone, where I was saying how important it was that we scored ourselves a Phantom Blue Chip as the first listing. And once they told me it was you guys, I was like, we're chilling. This is incredible. So I am overjoyed that I'm finally getting to sit down and talk to you guys and catch up. And I selfishly wanted to talk to you guys for my own reasons. With the markets and everything else, I was like, I need to talk to some people. I need to yap with some people. I need to be with people that are on my level. And there is no better crew than your crew. And if people didn't know SpiritSwap, I promise you that you will know after this little conversation here. I'm hoping we push an hour. Maybe we'll chill for 45, get into some questions from the community and everything else. But what I've been able to see you guys build has been insane. I started on Phantom, over a year ago now. And from your first UI and from what you guys were first putting out to what I see today is absolutely insane. And what a incredible journey. And what you guys have built in the last year plus has just been absolutely bananas. So from the community, from myself, thank you guys for everything that you're building. And if we don't have a lot of awkward, like, no, you go thing, like with this amount of people, I'm going to be bummed out.
Well, thank you very much for the amazing intro, my man. Yeah, we're looking forward to chatting with you and in the wider community here. And yeah, if there's anybody who's new to SpiritSwap, hopefully imparting some value and knowledge around the mechanics behind our protocol. Yeah.
Yes, this is exactly what I want. I've never had one of you guys hold my hand and walk me through it. So like I said, I'm personally excited. I've been invested. I'm all the locks. I'm red line locked. I've been in the server since, day one when I was getting on Phantom, and I followed the project, and I've been beyond excited to sit down and talk to you guys. But I know a lot of people that are listening, not only maybe new to SpiritSwap, they might be new to DeFi. Some of these guys were traders. Some of these guys are all these different things. Some of these people, a lot of the people that I talked to, this might be one of their first cycles, you know what I mean? Coming in during the last bull run, coming in now in this whole cycle. And I would love to talk to you guys and some of your experiences, and I'm sure some of you are vets. So if we can go around the horn real quick, two things. One is your name, what you do for SpiritSwap, and what was your first experiences, or when did you start in crypto? So everyone has a little bit of a metric. Who's on SpiritSwap legit? Is that Sid?
Yep, that's me. Sid here.
What's up, man? What do you do for SpiritSwap, and how did you get introduced into crypto?
Yeah, so I do most of the technical overviews and like the business partnership management for SpiritSwap. I've been in this space for about 5 years. When I started out, I was mainly on like the blockchain, the technology side, like was never into crypto. I got involved in crypto in like the last 2.5 years. But yeah, it's been like a wild journey.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Wow, you went feet to the fire, huh? Right into it. Right into a successful project. I like that. DGen, what about yourself, man? You want to introduce yourself, what you get into? And I know you have to be a veteran. I sense it.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I'm Nick, FTM DGen. Act as the operations manager for SpiritSwap. So, each day kind of varies depending on the day. For example, I'll have a weekly debrief and catch up with the mod team every Monday. Make sure that there's clear flow of communication between the core team and the moderator team, just so they're across, any pertinent information that needs to be conveyed to the community. Demo day will consist of, meetings, marketing management, overseeing community engagement, managing of bribes currently, business development, running internal team meetings, treasury management, content production, briefing marketing partners on upcoming campaign requirements, overseeing SEO, internal production testing, etc. Yeah. So a bit of a jack of all trades.
You don't need to flex on us like that, bro. Okay. All
jack of all trades, master of none, my friend.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad I wasn't trying to write that down. All right. But I knew you did a lot. I knew you did a lot. I didn't know it was that much, but I knew you did a lot. And now, what about you coming into crypto?
I guess I would consider myself a vet of the 17, 18 sort of cycle. I think I jumped in around about 2016. Had a bit of inheritance money that I kind of sledged into it, and did pretty well. Came across Phantom. I think during the first round of lockdowns, sort of COVID-19 era, where crypto was sort of starting to heat up again and the bull market was starting to return. I was actually doing a little bit of research into directed acyclic graphs, which, DAG, which is, the premise that Phantom sort of bases itself around. I actually invested in another protocol completely separate to Phantom, and as I was sort of doing some due diligence around that, I came across Phantom at the time, and I think even though DeFi was relatively primitive, especially on Phantom at that point, I kind of really like the idea of being able to take staked assets and mint a stablecoin with that, echoing, that Phantom was going to offer some kind of capital efficiency. Kind of jumped on the Phantom train. I think I was hanging out, and it was either the Phantom server or the FTM Alert server at the time, and Learned that there were going to be a couple of DEXs launching. I started chatting with the Spirit team, really liked them. We kind of gelled really well. Started out as a mod, worked my way up to admin, and then I was kind of moonlighting, working my day job during the day and then burning the midnight oil, helping the team out with stuff till sort of 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and eventually got my dream job in crypto. So here I am.
Holy Cinderella story! Wow.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm a little inspired. I'm not gonna lie. That's insane. I mean, I'm not gonna. I followed a similar path. I'm a 2017 baby. I did all I bought all the dips all the way to oblivion and beyond, and it's been a hell of a journey. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if you remember. I'll troll you for a second because why not? We met in a couple back channels on Discord. How surreal is just Discord as an existence? We'll get into that later.
Oh, man.
And I had no idea that you had worked with SpiritSwap or with SpiritSwap, and I'm in the server and I'm watching you put out announcements. And I'm like, holy shit, this is just a random dude I was chatting with is like, is in SpiritSwap and all this stuff. So, I mean, I've seen you around, and I know you've made your rounds in a lot of different servers and all over the place. And wow, that's insane to think that from a mod you got to where you are, and that's incredible.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah.
No,
it's been quite the journey. It is, like you said, a Cinderella story, a case of meritocracy gone well. And I just love it. The team are absolutely amazing. We all gel so well. There's so much synergy between us. I feel like we all have such a unique set of skills to offer that we just complement each other so well as a team. And I think that's testament to the success that we see today. Yeah.
Well, when you write your autobiography, I would like a signed copy. Rob, what do you do for SpiritSwap, and how did you get into crypto, brother?
Yeah. So if you guys know the term PM in engineering, that's kind of my role. At different companies, it stands for different things. It's either a product manager or a program manager. So I kind of act as our PM, so managing our devs. Sid helps me a lot with that as well because he's more CTO-y than I am. But I'm working a lot with Jira, if anybody knows that software, so creating tasks and making sure people are working on the right thing. And then how I got into crypto, I don't actually remember the first time I heard about crypto, but I do specifically remember 2017 being a year that I was paying attention to Bitcoin a lot more. And then fast forward years later, I bought Bitcoin back then, and I think I sold and bought all the way up to 2020. And then I met Heesh, and he kind of introduced me to DeFi. And at the time, I was working at Microsoft as a video game programmer. And so on the side, I would work on stuff with Heesh and Sid, and we just, bullshit in Discord, come up with projects. We worked on an NFT project first, just for fun, to learn about DeFi space a little more. Obviously, there's a lot more to DeFi than just NFTs, but then that kind of got us on the path to exploring DEXs. And so that's when we decided to pursue creating a DEX, and that's what SpiritSwap is today.
Yeah. I wanted to segue into that as well. I wanted to hear how this whole thing came to fruition because I've gotten to watch a couple things blossom. I don't know who's typing, but it's loud as hell. I've been blessed
Nick,
to see.
you're typing.
Nick, you're typing loud as hell. Mute that mic.
Do
me that. You're a wrecking ball.
I'm that kid. I'm that kid in class who was always getting kicked out for distracting everybody.
Dude, you are a wrecking ball. You just do me a solid. Just mute while you're typing. You savage.
Okay, Degen by name, Degen by nature. What can I say?
And Heesh, arguably one of my favorite profile pictures out there. I don't know why, but something about it speaks to me on a deeper level. What do you do, my man? And how did you get into crypto?
Hey, what's up, guys? I missed the first part of that, but I'm assuming is it directed at me because I'm the last one I think that's gone?
It was.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
So at SpiritSwap, I guess you could say I do research and development. Keep it simple, I guess. I got into the crypto space in 2017. I remember I was in college and started selling all my shit to buy more crypto. So those were good times. In about 2020, I got into DeFi and really got into that and really enjoyed that. And about a year later, I started getting into the development side of things. So I guess you could say I was a degenerate and then started learning more about development.
So now, all right. So obviously there's a bunch of smart characters behind the scene. So now when does the decision take place that a couple of you guys get together? And I feel like a lot of starting a business is just to have the big brass balls to actually do it, right? Like a lot of people talk and you plan, but it's actually like having the guts to be like, screw it, we're doing it. Like grabbing a domain, starting to build and just rolling that out. Now, who was the crew and how did that come into fruition and deciding to go on Phantom and like, how did the project, like even people listening that might be like on that cusp, you know what I mean? That they have a couple friends they've been talking to, they've been thinking about it, and it's like, what is your guys' story about just finally committing and executing?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's... Oh, Karish.
Okay, I guess I'll start us off and then you can take over. I've always like been interested in starting a project and working on my own project, but I've always been like more of an idea guy. So I think meeting these guys and especially Rob, who's kind of a pusher, I think that's kind of what it took in order to get us there.
There you go.
What?
Nothing.
Oh.
Keep going.
Those are two integral dudes, though. Those are two integral dudes, right? You with a crew, you got the like an idea guy, all right, but the idea guy may not necessarily bring it to fruition. And then there's the I'm gonna kick the idea guy in the pants guy, who is just as important. So that was the dynamic at the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it really took, I guess, the four of us just really wanting to work on something together. And I mean, we never really had any expectations for what we were doing. It kind of just like took off and we weren't exactly prepared for it, but I guess it was a great learning opportunity.
Yeah, to add on to what he said, like we kind of like started on the NFT project as Rob was mentioning earlier. We saw like our skill sets have like expertise in like different areas and like four of us like working together kind of like make like an awesome team. And that's when we're like, hey, let's do like something like real, like let's do like a DeFi project. And then we started like researching chains like Solana, Phantom and stuff like that. And then like we're like, hey, Andres on Phantom, like building on Phantom. Like there's like a lot of like cool technology that was on Phantom. That's one of the main reasons we started like looking into Phantom, like started like developing like a DEX because that was the gap at that point. Yeah, it's just like our expertise, like all of us have like our own strengths and it just like works like really well like together.
Yeah, there also wasn't any DeFi at the time on Phantom, right? I don't remember there being much of DeFi at all.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So it was a good
interesting.
opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I came over. If you guys remember the hyper jump Ori, I was going to use the word fiasco, but I don't want to necessarily put it in a negative tone. But that's when I first started coming over, and I believe you guys absolutely existed. So I know you guys have been around for a long time. I know early on that there was like bridging issues to like get people over onto the chain and all that stuff. Now, I mean, obviously it became beautiful after that, but early on when you guys were building and starting to get everything set up, and like I said, I'm looking at the website now from the early UI to now, like what were some of those like early on challenges? I remember I was a mod for Hyperjump and just trying to even get people onto Phantom was like its own animal.
Yeah, one of the big challenges, this doesn't have to do with bridging, but having a community and then trying to build at the same time was tough because we had managed a community before, but we hadn't really been building at the same time that we had been managing a community in the past. So that was pretty daunting. Luckily, we had people like Nick, FTM DJ here, who started taking responsibilities as mods and just kind of doing things. And that's kind of why he kept rising and then ended up joining us and is an integral member now of the team. But yeah, that was tough at first, and luckily we had people to help us out there. Yeah.
People don't realize, and I feel like they often discredit how important the community really is, and how important building that community and those bonds and that behind the scenes. And a lot of people, especially if you're just listening on Twitter, or if you just engage or get your information from Twitter, once you start diving into some of these, I mean, I'm Discord biased, all right? No offense to the Telegram guys. I know that there's a lot of Telegram guys out there. I have a little bit of a bias towards Discord. But regardless, I always felt like I realized early on that if I really wanted to learn about a project, if I really wanted to dig around and find alpha, if I really wanted to get a feel and a vibe of the community, a lot of times that's where you have to head. And that's where all the interesting stuff and a lot of like great communications, partnerships, and everything happen. And I was also thinking early on is how wild that, something like Discord that I don't think was ever necessarily, well, I guess it was intended on some levels to become what it was, but I never knew what an integral part that would be to be building something like this. I mean, I'm sure you guys are in and out of the Discords all the time. And how was building a community like that early on and getting all of that rolling?
Yeah, I think Discord's a fantastic tool, especially for the crypto space to take advantage of and leverage. Absolutely a bias towards Discord here over Telegram. I think we in the early stages we actually had a couple of internal discussions around whether we even bother with a Telegram or not. Eventually we decided it's best to cater to both markets, but yeah, Discord is definitely our hub. It's funny, we were having this conversation literally yesterday. I think there was at one point maybe like Microsoft were looking to buy out Discord or something like that, and it fell over, and we're sort of saying, why did they never do that? Like there's so much that could actually be done with Discord in terms of applying it to real world businesses, utilizing it as a customer service center is one example. I mean, for us, the ability to build bots on Discord has been a huge leveraging tool for us to really engage our community. We have this Discord bot at the moment called Sharon, whereby users can actually register their wallet addresses with this bot. That bot can then scan the wallet and identify exactly how much in Spirit they have, how many Spirit LPs they support. And as a result, we have monthly competitions, silver, gold, and diamond tier, I believe it is, whereby we run a giveaway bot each month. And depending on how much in Spirit you hold or how many SpiritSwap LPs you support, that will assign you a tier level in the giveaway. And obviously, higher the tier level, the bigger the rake is and the rewards are. So I think, having tools like that at our disposal has been, really, really positive for us in terms of not only building our community, but continuing to keep them engaged. Recently, 2 weeks back, we launched our Fireside series as well, which is basically, a weekly get-together between the core team and the community whereby we can, just shoot the shit with the community in a casual manner. I'm trying to add more value at the moment by starting to offer educational series and giving presentations to the community around, pertinent information surrounding the crypto space. Last week I did a cover piece on, best practice wallet security and setup, as we noticed that a lot of our community members were getting scammed by phishing websites or people attempting to social engineer them to, get their private keys, etc. So I feel like that level of engagement that we've taken part with within our community has really helped us, grow, adopt, and develop over time. And we're just going to continue to focus on doing that. Community is of immense importance, especially for a DAO such as us. With any type of civil governance, it's super important to make sure that you've got an informed community so they can make responsible and informed decisions on behalf of the DAO. So making sure that we're really cranking out that educational content and having really learned discussions around the implications of decisions that the DAO has to make, I feel is of immense importance in this space.
Well, I would like to come clean and say that I have won NFTs through Sharon. Okay, I am.
Nice.
I'm a top tier holder. I'm a top tier
Legend.
holder. I'm a top tier holder. I live for it. I look forward to every one. I think I scored myself 1 or 2 binary punks.
Hey, that's one
And-
more than you. That's one more than me. I think I won Sharon a few times, and then they took it away from me because I was a team member.
That's bullshit.
Dude, can't be winning.
Dude, after this,
Rugged.
I'm gonna send you something. I can't believe they rugged you like that. I never saw anything about
No, it's
team
for the community. It's for the people.
Whatever. I never saw that in the fine print. I want you to know that not that you had an NDA with these guys, but I could see Reed is in the crowd right now. Now, I was in chats, I was in threads talking to Reed and Rabtai, and they're my boys, and they were telling me like, oh, we're building this thing, and they were like, well, not telling me about it, and I'm like, come on, like, why don't you leak a little something? Let me know what's going. Like, I know they're building something. Like, I didn't know what it was, and then I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys remember that night when you guys launched it. I was like, oh, this is what you guys are building. That's so cool. Like, you guys, I don't know whose concept it was, but the idea and a bot, I had never seen anything like that. Once you guys put that or implemented that, when Reed, Rabtai, whoever, all you guys worked together to do that, I didn't even know that was applicable or could be done on a Discord server. So the way that you guys parlayed into that, what it's become, I think is amazing.
Yeah, we've got to give massive, massive props to both Reed and Rabtai. Absolute legends for taking part and developing that for us. Also got to give massive props to our community manager, Ege Nazaro. I don't know if he's in here at the moment, but the concept was actually his. He pitched it to me, and I thought, this is fucking awesome. We got to build this thing, So I can cap in hand to my sugar daddy at the team and asked for some budget to build this thing out, to which it was granted. And I mean, look, it's been a huge success to this day. The community still continue to love it. Rabtai offers immense support whenever we need any assistance, with the bot, upgrading it or adding additional features. So, monumental effort by all parties involved.
Killer. Like I said, I'm a super fan. Anyone, if you haven't went down to their Discord and checked it out, I definitely suggest you do so because it's awesome. I participate twice a month. I've won a couple NFTs. I still hold them. And do you hold them forever? I guess we'll see. I'll make that decision. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now, we were talking about your community and the bot that you built, and I love all of that. You guys know that I get down with it. I participate all the time. But now I want to talk about people that have never actually been to SpiritSwap and seen the site. Now, some of these things, you know right away, like if you've been involved in DeFi, obviously, okay, I know what a bridge is. Obviously, I know what a farm is. But you guys have some other things going on. Like you don't always see 8 mode, right? You don't always see, some of these other things that you guys have going on your website. I mean, from lending and borrowing, WinSpirit, even InSpirit itself, which again, I'm locked like a savage. And let me tell you, when I told my wife that I took an investment and I locked it contractually for, what's the max? 4 years?
Yep, 4 years.
Yeah.
She was like, "You're sure? Like you're sure?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. This is the stuff I live for. I'm a lockaholic, by the way. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's built for that lock life. I am. I happen to be down with it. And I see you guys. I'm seeing some tweets going out that InSpirit's crossing circulating supply and all that stuff. Actually, hell, let's start there. Can you guys explain InSpirit?
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna take it up.
Yeah, I was just about to jump in there. So InSpirit is our governance token. In order to get it, you have to lock Spirit. And so the given parameters for the lock is either between 1 week and 4 years. So 4 years is the max lock. If you do lock it for 4 years, you get like the most possible amount. So for example, you have 10 Spirit and you lock it for 4 years, you would get 10 InSpirit. Whereas if you were to lock that 10 Spirit for 1 year, you would get 2.5 InSpirit. So the longer you lock, the more you get. But yeah, essentially that's our governance token, and it comes with a few different perks. The first is it boosts your farm. So you can get up to a 2.5x boost on your APR when you're farming on SpiritSwap and you hold InSpirit. The second is you can vote for farms. So essentially we have a voting system where you vote on farms that you like, and then we emit more spirits to those farms based on the votes. And then the third thing is that I guess you can call it a rebate from the swap fees on SpiritSwap.
You can give like a small alpha with we do with one extra utility.
I was
Go for
keeping
it.
my mouth shut here, but
I'll let it go.
There's no better person to tell. There is not a better person on this planet to tell. I'm your guy. I'm the give me the alpha guy.
Dude, you're lucky. We've been so tight-lipped about this. Far away, he ship it.
Yeah, maybe allude me to the alpha so that we're on the same page here.
There's quite a bit of alpha, isn't there?
I'm willing to risk someone getting in trouble right now. I'm willing to risk someone getting pissed off at someone else right now. Do what you have to do to facilitate this.
Yeah, okay.
He's talking about the voting fee APR.
Yes. So we are implementing voting fees in our V2. And essentially that means that when you vote for a given LP, maybe say USD FTM, a portion of the swap fees on that pair, instead of going to the LP, they will go to a bribe contract, and in-spirit holders that voted for that USDC FTM pair will receive those fees. And so me and Sid were just plugging some numbers the other day, kind of seeing how it would work out. And it gives in-spirit holders the opportunity to earn a whole bunch more APR on top of what they're currently earning. So I think we were looking at like 200% APR for people that voted for the USDC FTM pair. So yeah, I'm really excited about that feature. I don't think anyone has really implemented it correctly. Like Solidly had a really good idea to bring that feature on, but there were just obviously some issues with it. So I'm ready to see it in the wild and really excited for it.
So you guys sat down and like, how do we get COMA more money? Like that's what you were trying to come up with. And I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Like whenever you guys want to powwow and just think about how you could get me more money, I appreciate it unbelievably deeply. Wow,
there's more too.
I don't want to push you guys to divulge. We're taking turns here. I was trying to like, let's talk about the site and how amazing it is. You guys segue into Alpha and V2. Tell me where do you want to go? Someone lead this train. There's so many options.
No, that's what I think we should draw the line. One alpha.
Okay.
There is a lot more though. Put it this way, we'll be making it very, very appealing for more and more people to lock up their spirit into in-spirit. And at the end of the day, it's not really just about thinning out supply. It's about actually onboarding new community members and getting more and more people involved in governance on the platform. Obviously, as we sort of transition towards full on-chain governance, having actively engaged participants in our governance model is of immense importance. So yeah, there is a lot more, but I think we'll leave it at that for now. But Heish has cooked up some absolutely fantastic mechanics to really help complement the SpiritSwap ecosystem, and we're just super excited to get this beast out. Unleash the beast, unleash the Kraken, and see it run in the wild. Yeah. I think on top, like we can talk about some of the code-based stuff that we've done though, right? Like, I mean, that kind of makes sense. That's not really too alpha-ish.
I mean, you're just going to limit me like one alpha per interview. Like that's all you get, one alpha per interview.
Dude, I don't think any other interviewer.
Teaser. I get it. I get it. And again, I don't want to push, but I'm not. I'm like unnervingly bullish. Right? I just crushed a can. I crushed the can just now in excitement for the future. So do we want to segue into or what you're allowed to say? Heish, it sounds like you're sitting on all the goods, dude. So,
I mean, yeah.
Go hard, Heish.
Don't tease me, bro. Give it to me.
Yeah, no, I'll give you a little, I guess, some more info about what we're trying to do. So right now we're really focused on on-chain governance and building decentralized systems that don't need, a third party to run them. And so I guess the original implementation of DEXs with yield farming, we saw SushiSwap. All the emissions to those farms were decided by, the Sushi core team or whoever was working on that project. And then we saw Curve Finance and how they were running their gauges. And we were like, why are we deciding where emissions go in our farms? Like that should be up to the community. And so I think Curve Finance made huge progress when it comes to on-chain governance and deciding where emissions go for farms. So obviously we implemented that with our in-spirit model. And I think now we're just looking to take it a step further and continue building on top of that to a point where we have this decentralized system that can be completely governed on its own on-chain without any, I guess, central party that's controlling it.
And that's the dream, right? I mean, to get more and more and more decentralized, which seems like it's something that you guys heavily focus on. So it's the community, the evolution, the decentralizing, the giving back to your users. Like these are the conversations that you guys are having, and these are the things that you guys are focusing on.
Right, and it's something that hasn't really been done all that well. Like we have all these decentralized applications, but in reality, it's one team operating it, one team making a lot of decisions, whereas it should really be the community. But I think the problem there is there's a lot of friction when it comes to voting and whatnot. So you kind of have to get creative when it comes to that and kind of figure out ways to give people a say in how the I guess platform operates, but also building it safely so that crazy things can't happen, as we saw with Solidly when people started adding like Batman spider tokens and farming those. So yeah, it's tough to find that middle ground, but it is possible.
Yes, yeah. This is what I think is so rad, and this is why I was like, I'm a serious degen. I'm a DeFi junkie. I live for all this stuff, and I know it's like, oh wow, that's quasi counterintuitive to be working for a sex. But that said, I kind of like I was initially a trader, and I think it's cool that I could come and do one thing. Like I can't participate in all facets on one avenue or one platform. So like even if I wanted to go trade something on Felix, I could still come down and participate in all of the wild things that you guys have going on, and I plan on participating in all of it. So what's the V2 timeline? Like what are you guys thinking about for rolling these things out and people being able to participate in what you guys have coming on?
Yeah,
I might default to Sid here.
Yeah, I can pick that one up with the timeline. So
Oh, okay, my bad.
no, you're good. So from like a timeline point of view, we are at a stage where like we are in our final like polished stage from like a UI. We are waiting on like one of our audits to come back. Like we did like one, and it came out like all good, like no issues over there. We are also like doing like peer reviews from the Phantom Foundation developers and some like well-known people in the Phantom ecosystem. So we're doing like two approaches to make sure like hey our contracts are good. So yeah, making sure like we take our time with like security while we polish out our UI. I don't want to like give like an exact date or like a timeline, but like it's soon. Like we're just working through it. Again, like being in the bear market helps us to focus on like development and like not on like worrying about like anything else. So yeah, that's what I'll say about like the timeline.
Listen, you said it, so I'm going to segue. Let's take a second. I do want to get into some of the other aspects of your website and what you guys have going on. But you mentioned bear market. Now, I did want to talk about you guys were also part of and here for an insane bull run, right? So some of the people that came on later or weren't a part of some of that. Now, I remember when I came on, I think Phantom was, let's just say $1, and then we were coming down slowly, and I remember we bottomed out at about 15 cents. And now in the Discord and everything was like, it's over. Phantom's a wrap. This is it. Guys, it was great. Everyone's like high-fiving, like, man, thank you for all the memories. We're out of here. And then we proceeded for a moonshot all the way to $3.48. Now, for for you guys, and I mean, maybe you guys were bullish overall and optimistic overall, but from when that rolled down to what ended up happening, like for you guys and building on Phantom, like what was that experience for you guys participating like in a project on that level of absolute parabolic madness?
It felt super competitive, that's for sure. Felt like we were kind of trying to stay above water, you know, because you want to build a new feature against your competitor and get it out before them, and everyone's looking at what's popping off the most. Everyone's excited because everyone's making money and everyone's active in Discord, so they expect things from you, expect answers to be or questions to be answered, and so everything's just like firing on all cylinders. So it's like someone lights a fire underneath you, and you're like, oh shit, we really got to build. That's kind of what it felt like. We've kept that all the way to now, though, and it feels nice to not get pressured a ton, actually, to build because we can really focus on what we like to do. So we're in that phase now, and we're enjoying it, but we do hope there are better days to come, for sure.
And there will be. And the real bulls build in the bear, right? Is that true?
I believe so. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I'd say it's, you know, things are a lot less distracting right now, which is amazing for building.
Yeah. Sorry, users, but we're loving it.
no one wants to hear that. They're like, we don't care if you ever build again. We don't care if you write another line of code as long as we moonshot tomorrow. But I try to convey that, and I try to convey that concept about how, like, you know, how cyclical it is, and you know, some of you guys have been here since 2017, and the ebbs and flows, and how this building and how these cycles go, and this is the time to build. No one wants to hear it. I get it, but this is an important time where dudes start rolling out things like the V2 and other things that you have going on. One thing that I did want to do was I farmed questions, and I haven't hit a single one of them. So I do eventually want to segue into that. It's pretty rude for me to ask everyone to give me questions to ask and then ask none of them. But I did want to hit with anything else that you guys wanted to touch on before I get into the questions about, you know, the site. Like I said, looking here between 8 mode, between lending, borrowing, between WinSpirit, and some of these other options. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to touch on or talk about? Things that you're proud of before we got into some community questions?
Definitely proud of what the site is going to look like soon. But no one can see that, unfortunately. So just be ready for V2 and how it's going to look and how it's going to feel.
You're proud of things that we can't see.
Exactly.
Noted.
It's a massive overhaul. I think just to like also like, you know, look back over the previous year and things that we're proud of. You know, we have actually accomplished so much, and you really do need to kind of almost visualize it to see everything that we have actually achieved. You know, June 24th, you know, very shortly after launching, we rolled out with our Zap2LP feature. August 20th, you know, we rapidly launched InSpirit, which obviously added a whole bunch of additional utility to the Spirit token. August 24th, you know, a few days after InSpirit launch, we partnered with Ola Finance to bring our lending network to the market, which obviously, you know, opened the doors for Spirit to be used as a collateral asset to borrow against. August 26th, you know, we had our first InSpirit distribution. October 19th, we set up our cross-chain bridge to start allowing for, you know, capital and liquidity to start to flow into Phantom, which I think, you know, was a huge part of actually helping the network grow at the time in that rapid expansion of the TVL.
I agree.
October 26th, I think it was, that we celebrated our all-time high of TVL, 400 million. And then on November 2nd, something that I'm really, really proud of, and this was actually Heish because he's like an OG OMI, he brokered that partnership with Olympus DAO that actually bought Olympus Pro to Phantom, which then allowed protocols to start, you know, establishing and accumulating protocol and liquidity via the bond model. We were the first to do that. On this 23rd of December, we made our full transition to DAO, where we set up our first governance snapshot, allowing our community to again utilize their in-spirit to vote on proposals that we've put forward. And then, on Jan the 5th, we launched our V2 project. We started ironing out all of the framework and design for that. And then Jan 7th, obviously, Ape Mode went live. At this stage, Ape Mode's going to undergo a huge overhaul as a part of our V2.1 rollout. We've got big plans for that further down the track. But right now, I just to echo what Rob said, super excited for a massive, I would call it, going well beyond a boob implant and a Brazilian butt lift makeover of the SpiritSwap UI. And not only just the UI, but, we spent a lot of time, effort, and money really optimizing cool times. So right now, even just, testing it out in our staging server, you actually you see an update of your balance before MetaMask even confirms the confirmation. So things are just super, super quick, running like a well-oiled machine, running like a tier 1 DEX, that people would expect.
And you just memorize all those dates, huh?
I actually used our anniversary infographic.
I have no idea. All of a sudden, my whole thing just went completely blank. It showed all you guys, but it was like blurry, and then that was it. I don't know what the hell happened, but I have now invited everyone to speak, and hopefully we can get this back rolling. Of course, on my very first ever Twitter Spaces, there's going to be some kind of awkward thing where it kicks everybody out, and then I'm talking to myself, leaning back. I'm not sure how far I was into yapping.
I think Nick was on a rant, actually.
Was Nick mid-rant? Well, we got to get him back in here.
He got off the call. He was like, damn it, I was mid-rant, and we got cut off.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. And he was like, let's get back in there. Let's get it back on there.
Yeah, he was having a good time. He's jumping in.
Yeah, I don't know. Apologies. I have no idea what the hell happened. Good thing is we're back up and running. I'm sure I lost a bunch of people. 'Tis what it is, but that's the nature of the beast. If we could get Nick back in to continue his rant, that would be optimal, unless he tried to go on desktop. He was on a tear, too. That was a good one. I feel bad. Yeah, there he is. I don't know what happened. I don't know if my huge sausage link fingers accidentally hit the end button. I mean, they're chubby and they're awkward, but like I swear I didn't touch my phone. I don't know what the hell happened. I apologize. The guy who's recording this is going to have this awkward, like, splice it together moment, which I apologize, but it is what it is. Sorry, Nick. You were mid-rant talking about how absolutely amazing you were giving me dates. You were telling me how hard you've been kicking ass, and please continue. I apologize. I don't know what happened.
Damn, man, I've lost all my steam now. No, I mean, I think I was just kind of saying, look, we've come so far, we've achieved so much, and we're super excited to see not only the mechanics under the hood, run in the wild and start to really stimulate our ecosystem again, but also, just offering a way better user experience, to our users via the much improved UI. And also, optimizing call times and things like that. Let's enough about us. Let's push on to some questions from the community maybe and start answering some of those.
Yeah, I blew it. I lost time. I lost everything. That's what I get.
You're all good,
It's my
bro.
first Twitter Space. Well, first of all, I was calling it Twitter Squares. It's not Twitter Squares. It's Twitter Spaces. Second of all, I was like stressed out because you got to run it solo. I'm on my mobile. I'm hidden in my basement like a troll. And then my chubby sausage-like fingers might have accidentally killed the space. I'm not proud of it, but it is what it is. So, yes, community questions. Let me start with a little bit of a shout out. My friend, Little Froggy Princess, asked a question. There is a lot of competition from other dexes now on Phantom. How do you plan to differentiate yourselves to stay ahead going forward, and any plans to journey to other chains, or will you always be Phantom maxis?
I guess I'll take that one. I'll take it.
No one wants to field this. No one wants.
No. More than happy to. I mean, yeah. Look, DeFi isn't for the faint-hearted. That's for sure. It's a fast-moving space. It 100%, keeps you on your toes at all time. But we all get a buzz from that, and we're hooked. We live for this shit. The team will tell you that, I'm the biggest stressor out of everyone. I'm always ranting and raving. You just have to take every day in its stride and focus on the task at hand, because ultimately, if you're consistently worrying about what the competition's up to, it just distracts you from your work and prevents you from actually solving the problems that you're stressing about in the first place. So I think it's a case of just finding your flow, knowing what works and what doesn't in your daily work process, and sticking to it, In terms of what differentiates us from other DEXs, within our V2 development, and again, I'll be a little bit coy here, but we've really taken time to sort of not only survey the community, survey all of the OGs, all of the really prominent people within the Phantom space and outside of Phantom as well, and really trying to identify, what are some of the common issues in DeFi at the moment? What's broken in DeFi? Basically curating all of these problems and then offering solutions surrounding them within our V2 mechanics. So that's, that's going to be a main focal point for us with our V2 and subsequent V2.1 rollouts, is essentially solving a lot of the issues that we're seeing in the DeFi space at the moment. Capital efficiency being one of them. And obviously, the dreaded mercenary capital, obviously trying to retain as much capital as possible, trying to retain as much liquidity as possible within the exchange. So I think, by us actually focusing on, issues that are out there at the moment that aren't really being resolved by other protocols, that's what's going to set us apart. Yeah, I don't know if any of the guys have anything else they want to add to that.
And figuring out how to get me more money.
Absolutely.
I know that you guys have been trying to figure that out, and I appreciate that greatly. We touched upon that earlier. So I love that that's part of it. And as far as the second part of the question, do you guys think that, I mean, again, you don't have to give me any secrets or whatever, but do you guys think you're going to remain on Phantom forever? Is it a hypothetical impossibility to ever see you transcend to another chain? Is that ever possibly on the table in the future?
I think this is quite a prominent topic at the moment, mainly because we are seeing, we've seen announced from some OG Phantom protocols that they are going on cross-chain benches, and then there's rumors of others. Some I can confirm and some are just rumors. But for us specifically, look, Phantom is our home. Phantom is what built us. The community is what built us. I wouldn't say it's out of the realms, but at this stage, we don't have anything to announce concerning, multi-chain or cross-chain implementation as of yet. Our main focus is getting V2 out, supporting the Phantom ecosystem, building on Phantom, growing our user base on Phantom, and continuing to stay focused in the space at this point.
I mean, I think Phantom's an incredible look for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, the tech itself has a lot to offer. We're seeing more PRs and commits happening on the Phantom GitHub at the moment. A certain figure has returned, I suppose. Not that he really ever left, but I mean, and it's not just about that. We just see so much potential with Phantom and where it can go to as a layer one. So yeah, we're in it for the long haul. If we were ever to venture cross-chain, it wouldn't mean by any means, that we'd be abandoning Phantom. But at this stage, Phantom is our main focus.
Okay, and I respect that. And I'm not pushing, you know what I mean? It's just a question and a curiosity.
Yeah.
Like you said,
you gotta ask these things, man. It's and like I said, it's a prominent question. It's a prominent topic sort of floating around the space at the moment. But yeah, I think trying to sort of fight a battle on too many fronts sometimes isn't always the best strategy. I feel like sometimes these decisions can sort of be made on a whim and a knee-jerk reaction to other events taking place behind the scenes. But for us, we've always been about blocking out the noise. Like there's always, we've been involved in some drama, and there's always some kind of, I feel like Phantom's turned into a pretty dramatic chain.
Really?
There's always something going on.
You sensed a little drama? I haven't really noticed.
But as Biggie Smalls once said, "Mo money, mo problems." So I think the drama is almost like a little sign that Phantom is growing and expanding, and with that, there's always going to be disagreements, or there's always going to be drama that happens. So for us, it's funny. There's been some days where we've been hanging out, just building, doing our thing, and someone will jump in and say, "Holy fuck, did you know that just happened?" And we're just like, "No, we had no idea." And they're like, "Oh, well, it actually happened last week." We're like, "Well, we're clueless." We just like to keep our blinkers on, block out the noise, and stay focused doing what we're doing, which is building.
Dude, I love that. And that's how you get things done, right? I mean, I guess in a very soap opera-esque way. I'm quasi into...
Oh, I like what you did there. I like what you
that?
did there.
I appreciate that. I did that strictly to impress you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
It's hard to not ingest it, at least peripherally, and it is what it is. And like you said, and I'm hoping that there is something to that, right? That with enough TVL, with enough interest, with enough people, with enough like really smart people and enough people pushing each other, you're going to bump elbows here and there, right? Like if it's just, that's how it is. That's how some of this some of this evolution rolls, is there's going to be on the track, a little elbowing, right? A little pushing, a little shoving, and that's how you keep growing. And I think it's just part of growing pains. But as far as go ahead.
Got to break a few eggs to bake a cake, baby.
Yeah, I was going to say omelet, but I like the cake one better.
References have been on point from you today, Nick.
Thanks, my man. Thanks.
I've been making
idioms,
mental notes.
reference, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been making mental notes to utilize some of these in the future. I was an omelet reference guy. The cake one is definitely going down in the future. Now, as far as, I know you guys have touched on this a little bit, but one of the, a lot of the questions have a similar variation. This is what everyone's thinking right now. In this bear market is a lot of people know, like I'm sure you guys have stories. I was a giant pussy during some of the bear market sections in the past, and I was not accumulating, right? Like I may have been doing research, but a little bit of fear got on me, whatever, and I wasn't deploying capital where realistically I should have. I have friends, I'll never forget, I got a phone call from a friend when Bitcoin was at 3,000, and he told me, "I'm taking half of my daughter's college fund and I'm going all in." And I remember being like, "Are you out of your mind?" Like, and these scary times, these bear market times, sideways down, like this is where beautiful, incredible projects are building, and what smart money in theory is accumulating. And a lot of the questions that I'm reading from the community have a recurring theme, like is essentially like, what utility and what do you guys have going on that's going to be attracting new users? And I have $100 in a dream. Like, why am I going to put it in SpiritSwap with all these other options? I know you guys have kind of talked about V2 and some of the things that you have going on and what's going to be coming out. But since we just crossed the hour mark, would you guys like to give, one at a time, however you want to do it, just a closing, thought on if I was going to grab a new user and why you would come and spend your money here and spend your time with SpiritSwap?
I guess I can take this one.
Please.
So I guess one big thing in DeFi that we see a lot is yield, and that's typically like in the form of governance tokens. Time they lose value, so it's not really the best form of yield. Or lending fees, stuff like that, like where real yield is actually coming. And so that's something that we're focusing on a lot. And we're kind of setting up InSpirit in a way so that if you are an InSpirit holder, you'll never be diluted by future farming rewards, and you'll be earning strictly real yield on top of that, if that makes sense.
It does. And like I said, I'm already an InSpirit holder. You're kind of forcing my hand here. I feel like I might have to make some rash decisions after we get off of this call. But I like where your head's at, and this is what people are looking for. This is the feedback that they want.
Right, and I mean, apologies for keeping it a bit vague. I'm really excited to dive into this, hopefully this next month, and give a lot more information on it. But yeah, I think real yield is where the focus should be at in a bear market, because you're not getting diluted by governance token values and other factors like that.
And now another thing before we head out, I wanted to ask, and I'm sure other people are curious. I saw a bunch of questions in the server, what other projects have you guys been interested in? Like, I'm assuming you guys invest here and there, and it's not financial advice. I'm not saying, like, just a vague, like, what do other teams find? Maybe not even necessarily what you're invested in, but other things DeFi-wise that you find interesting, that you think are cool. I know you guys have been focused on V2, but what are some of the other projects or the other things that you're seeing that you're like, damn, why didn't I think of that? Or, oh, that's really interesting. Or, oh, maybe we'll take a peek at that in the future. Is there anything else going on right now that kind of intrigues you guys?
I mean, I guess I have a list of projects that I just that I really like. I guess, for example, like GMX, Fax Finance, Tribe. Yeah, a whole bunch out there. I think the crossover between NFTs and DeFi is really cool, and I think there's a lot of really cool liquidity solutions coming out for NFTs.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm an NFT super fan. I'm a collector, and I hope to see more. Like I said, hopefully in the future, I'll just win them from you guys. That would be optimal. Buying them is not half as cool as just winning them from Sharon. That works out best for me since I'm locked anyway. But guys, thank you so much for hopping on here. Thank you guys so much for sitting down and talking to me. I apologize for the awkward random, the entire thing shutting down and booting us all off of the Twitter Spaces.
It's all good.
Hopefully we could join this together into one cohesive thing that we could put out later. And I'm also hoping that maybe you guys had a good time. Maybe we could do this again. I mean, where are we at? Is this a one and done and you're like kind of bearish on ever talking to me again, or where are we at? How do you guys feel about it overall?
No, that was fun, man. You're really an energetic interviewer or AMA host. I love it.
Yeah, I would love to do it again.
I'm down to do it again.
Yeah. I think once once the curtain's been raised and everyone kind of can see how the sausage is made regarding V2, it would be awesome to get back on here and cover everything in more detail, kind of cover, plethora of stuff that we haven't really been able to talk about today because we're playing Secret Squirrel. But love your energy, COMA. You've been, like I said, you and I have known each other for a while in and out of Discord servers. I'm a bit of a Discord slut. It's great to finally get on an AMA with you, man, and it'll be a pleasure to jump back on with you again once we get this beast out.
When you deploy your sausage, as you say, when the sausage is deployed, if we could circle back and talk again, I would absolutely love to talk about your sausage. I'm so excited for everything that you guys have rolling out. You guys are teases. Like, I respect that you gave me some alpha. You also kind of teased me. I'm at this weird, like, half chub scenario working. But, I had such an amazing time. I'm going to go from here to your website. I hope other people do the same. Thank you guys so much. This is absolutely amazing. I'm going to take my big-ass sausage link finger, and I'm going to hit the end button right now.
Okay, later.
Awesome, COMA. Much love, dude. Thank you so much,
man. Out of blast.
Alrighty.
Later.
Cheers.